In 1937, the British government sent a team to investigate, headed by Lord Peel. His mission was to establish what was happening and why. He called Husseini as witness. Sir Laurie Hammond asked Husseini whether the problem was that Jews had taken Arab lands by force. Husseini replied, "In most cases, the lands were acquired. I mean forcibly acquired. Compulsory acquisition, as land would be acquired for public purposes." No, it wasn't. Not taken by compulsory acquisition? No. But these lands amounting to some 700,000 dunams were actually sold? Yes, they were sold, but the country was placed in such conditions as would facilitate such purchases. I don't quite understand what you mean by that. They were sold. Who sold them? Landowners. Arabs? In most cases, they were Arabs. Was any compulsion put on them to sell? If so, by whom? As in other countries, there are people who by force of circumstances, economic forces, sell their land. The Arab landowners who, according to Husseini, had been forced to sell their lands were the Effendi, the great feudal lords of the area. They did whatever they liked. Nobody forced them to sell. And they had sold their least productive lands at very high prices. In fact, Husseini's own family, among the largest Effendi landowners, was doing a brisk business with these sales. The Husseinis first would threaten the small landowners with death if they dared commit the so-called national crime of selling land to Jews. Then they would buy these plots at fire sale prices, consolidate them, and resell them at extortionate prices to the Zionist Jews.
So you see, not only did al-Husseini, the great founder of the so-called Palestinian movement, cheat the local Arabs and the Jews, who he sold the land to at ridiculous prices, but he made a profit, played the victim, and as a bonus, he also aligned himself with the enemies of the Allied forces. Heard of this guy? This was mostly because of his shared hatred of the Jewish people. Now, all this would probably be irrelevant if al-Husseini stopped playing victim after World War II was over. I mean, the Germans paid some of their dues. But this guy's dirty secrets continue to be kept in the dark even after he lost the war, and now the Arabs in Gaza continue with that exact same successful strategy of deception. And of course, facts such as the 800,000 plus Jewish refugees kicked out of Arab Islamic land since 1948 with no compensation isn't really appealing to most people, as it doesn't suit the colonizer narrative people accuse Israel of doing, when the Arabs have done exactly what they accuse Israel of doing to not just Jews, but Christians too. To quote a movie line, sometimes it's easier living a lie, as the actual truth isn't relevant in this conflict because it's not profitable for so many.